when you see me a step, you should know I'm a queen. Queen of the jungle. Queen of the jungle. Queen.
Hey my man, welcome to another YouTube video. As you all can see in the title, today I will be doing an in-depth beginner friendly knotless tutorial featuring my girl Betsy here. Okay, so without further ado, let's just get into this video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and be sure to follow me on Instagram at HairbyRhema. Okay guys, so first things first, let's talk about attire. So obviously you have to have on proper clothing, right? Meaning no short pants, short skirts. You need to look professional, right? Also, if you're a beginner, I suggest you get an apron. My own has 2 pockets at the bottom and 1 in the middle. I'm not sure what this one in the middle is for. Probably I'll use it like to put money and change or something. And the ones at the bottom, I'm not sure if y'all saw it properly, but I'm going to show you all. Right, the 2 pockets at the bottom, I use that to put my combs and the tools that I'll be using, right? So you all can get one Pennywise has them selling. So yeah, I think that's the only place that I saw it. Pennywise. So as I mentioned before, today is a beginner friendly knotless tutorial. So I'll be talking, I won't be going in depth into parting, but I'll be showing you all how I part. Right, I'll be showing you all the different sizes of knotless that I do, because everyone's small is different, everyone's medium is different, everyone's jumbo is different. I'll show you all the different sizes. I'll also show you all how I prep the hair. I'll give you all the tools that you need, and I'm going to also, I'm not really good at talking, but I'm going to show you all how I try to talk. Okay, so let's get into the steps and the materials you will need. So you'll need a precision pack. So like if you just use a normal braided comb, that is okay, but I strongly suggest as a beginner you get the precision pack comb. Some places sell it for 10, 12, 13, 14. The most you pay for a precision pack comb is like $15, so you can order them online. My girl, she is Haircraft, she has 3 for $45, so you can check her out as well. She also does delivery. I'll tag her page so you like it. Right, you will need the wristband. You don't necessarily need it. You can use your hand, but just to be sanitary, you get one of the wristbands. I have one, but I kind of misplaced it, so I can't show you, but I'll put a picture right here. Jay's Haircraft also has that, and she has a special with the precision pad comb and the wristband for $100, right? Next, you will need whatever product you're using. So I don't have wire jam right now. I'm just improvising. So I'm using Murray's beeswax, the yellow one, and just to get like a more soft texture, I mix it with some gel that I had. Just improvising, okay guys, don't do this. But it's a mannequin head, so I'm just improvising to use the product. So you can use Warriors Jam, Shine and Jam, whatever product you're comfortable using, right? You also need a big comb, a big detangling comb like this one. And also obviously you need your braiding hair. So today I'm using 2 different colors. I'm using the brown like the mannequin head just to show you all the knotless steps, and I'm also using this blue that one of my clients had and she left it with me, not me. I'm using this blue to show you all how I try to talk. Okay, and also you will need a braiding rack. If you have one, you don't need it necessarily, but as a beginner it's always good to have one. I don't have a braiding rack, however I have this. As you see, it's a bowl with push pins on it. My aunt made it for me and I'm very grateful. It works just as fine personally for me. Just as fine personally for me. So if you want, you can also get your uncle or your dad or whoever to make one for you if you don't have enough money to buy a braiding rack at this. So next, let's do prepping of the hair. First things first, prepping the hair. So the first size I'm going to do is medium. So braiding is all about feeling knotless tutorial I had before. I told you that you do the hair. You take strands of hair that the first strand will be the smallest strand, and then the second strand you get a little bigger, and then third a little bit bigger, I actually changed my method, and what I do is I just do all the strands the same size, right? So that's where I said braiding is all about feeling. So you want to feel and make sure that all the strands you do is the same size. Now if you're a beginner, there's a zero, not zero, but there's a 50-50 chance that you will get all at the same size, right? But don't hurt up your head, don't panic if you don't get all the same size. I and all struggle with feeling the braids to make sure that all the sections are the same size, right? So I start with 6 before I would start with 5, but because I want everything to be equal and I want the braid to have good body and you want all the strands, or because you want all of them to be equal, I do equal amount of sections that I take out with the braid, right? So I'm gonna start with small, and this with medium. Sorry, I'm not doing small. So with medium, I would take like a little bit. This size, I don't know if you can see the size properly, but this is the amount. Now with braids, you tend to like if you look at it like this, it kind of spread out and it looks big. But when you actually hold it and you twist it, because this is the size is going to be when you're plaiting or when you're braiding, when you twist it, this will be the size it's going to be, right? So I'm going to use that as my first strand. So I'm putting it on my braiding rack. I'm going to try to get another strand of braid, another strand of braid that same size, so I'm going to roll in it. This is for beginners, so I'm just showing y'all. This is like a tip y'all can do to make sure all is the same size. You kind of roll the braid, and if it's the same, well, you know it's the same size. If it's the same size, and you roll it, if it's the same size, well, you know it's good. So I parted out my hair. I have all my strands of braid as I need, which is 6, and this is just for like waist length or mid back length, but also obviously for butt length and stuff like that, you will have to extend the hair. I forgot to tell you all, obviously you're going to be standing when you're combing your client's hair. The reason why I told you to get an apron with pockets is because I take my 2 combs and I put it in, well, if I'm a right-hander, so I put the combs in my right pocket. So I'm finished parting my section here, and let me just zoom in so that you will see exactly how I'm doing the knotless braid. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to apply my products on the section. Next, you're going to comb the hair into the middle. So you're going to comb straight. No, you're not going to do this. You're not going to just comb that, then comb that. No, you're not going to do that. You're going to comb straight through the client's hair. So you're going to comb there. You want to form the hair to be in the middle, so that when you start to braid, the braid will end up in the middle. So this hair is not coming today, but as you can see, it's like formed in the middle, right? Next, you're gonna part the client's hair into 3 sections to start your braid. Now, some people add in here on the right side, some people add in here on the left side. I add in on the left, sorry. So I'm gonna start with my braid. I'm gonna start my braid. So one person will add here as they start here because they add on the right side, but because I add on the left, I'm going to braid again. So what you do to get a tighter grip, you're going to turn this a bit. Right. So what you do to get a tighter grip, what you're going to do, you're gonna hold with your index and thumb, but you're also gonna add like your middle and your ring just to get a tighter grip, and you're gonna continue. Now because I add on my left, here is where I'm going to add in my braiding hair. So I take my first strand, and this is how I add it in. Now some people add in like this. Some people hold it and then they take their pinky just to hold the hair on the out, right? So this is the first method. They add it in and they put the pinky. I'm just showing you all. And I'm gonna use my 2 other fingers to give me a tight grip. They turn. Right? I have this still. Now this is not the method I use, so I can't really do it properly. And then I add in here. Right? Now the method I use, now you're gonna continue adding in the hair on the left side, and you're gonna continue adding it in until all the strands are finished, right? So I'm gonna add in the next part. So this is how I add in. I just hold it here like this, and I literally just put it between my finger, and I leave this out of the way, like I put it on top of the person's hair, or I just leave it right there. And then I'm gonna take my 2 fingers, my 3 fingers, sorry, and I'm gonna grip, turn, grip. Now as you can see, the client's hair is like kind of clampy. Now you don't want that because you want a smooth finish. So you're gonna take your precision comb and you're just gonna comb out the client's hair. And then you're also gonna put the braiding hair over there. So then you go, you grip, thing. Now you're gonna add in another strand of hair. As I tell you, you'll continue adding in the hair. So you're gonna do that here. Continue combing out. You want it to be really smooth. Alright. Now here is where I change from braiding overhang and I go under. So I'm gonna take my entire, all my fingers, and I'm actually gonna hold the braid like this. Now my index finger, right, as you can see, it's kind of hard how I do it, but I'm just showing you my method because it's the only method I can actually teach you. So I have my pinky and my ring finger holding the outside as well, right? Now I'm going to take my index and my thumb, and I'm going to go under and grab that here. So I'm going to show you all again. So I'm holding it. I'm holding this with all my fingers. Pinky and index and thumb, sorry, grab the under, right? Now you want to make sure you don't have this like the hair poking out there. So I'm just combing that out, right? So I'm back in this position. What I'm going to do, I'm going to add in my other piece of braiding here because as I told you, I want to continue adding in the hair until it's finished. So I'm going to add it in again. I'm going to show you all how I add in the hair when I'm doing underhand. So I just hold the braid as I usually would. I put it under. So I don't know if you're seeing, but I put it under. Right? This side I will hold with this hand. And I'm going to take my index and thumb that's holding the middle section and grab that in with the middle section, right? And then I'm going to continue braiding. So you want to keep your hand moist as you braid down, also you want to keep the braid moist. So you're going to continue adding your product and combing through. So that the combing through will give you a smooth effect, and when your hand is moist, you won't like graze up your hand on the braid. Sometimes the braid cut your finger, so you don't want to do that. So you're going to comb out. Right, and then you're going to continue braiding down. Now the trick with knotless and having a good box braid with body is that, Lord, is that you want all the sections, meaning all these 3 sections here, we want them to have to be the same size. So you want to braid. And that's why I told you braiding is all about feeling. Now, the only way you will know if they're all the same size is if you feel it. So you must feel whether or not, now this braid doesn't really need to comb out, but when you're doing your client's hair, you will actually have to continue combing out the hair, right? And touching your product so that you won't have leave out. Now, as I told you all, I am not using ORS jam, so this product is not really working the same way. So, yeah. So as I was saying, you must feel whether or not all the sections are the same size. So right now I have a section that's smaller, but I'm going to just continue braiding. So I'll show you what I mean, what happens when all the sections are not the same size, and then when I'm finished braiding, I will show you what I mean. Okay, so I've finished the braid, and what I wanted to show you with when you do when you have uneven strands is like, I don't know if you're seeing like the bumpiness here, right? Like you can obviously see that this strand is bigger than this one. So you don't want to see that, like here you can see the strand is bigger, right? You're gonna have an uneven finish. It's gonna be really bumpy, and you don't want that to happen. So what I'm gonna do another braid, and I'm gonna show you all how you're gonna get all these strands to be even. Okay, so let's go over all these steps. So we already have our hair prepped. We're gonna apply products to the section, throughout the section. Take your comb, right? Take your comb, you comb it through, you're combing straight through the client's hair. You're not just gonna comb like this You're not doing that, you're combing straight through the client's hair. And you're forming. Now the ORS strand will be a lot thicker and stiff. It will keep the hair in the middle. You'll part into 3 separate sections. 1, 2, 3. And we're gonna start braiding. I'm holding with these 3 fingers to give a tighter grip. And now I'm gonna add in my first strand. That's how I add it in. Keep this here out of my way. Tight grip. Right. Make sure everything is in place. So I usually add in like 2 or 3 strands before I go in and start braiding underhand, right? Keep the braid moist. Keep your hands moist as well, and keep combing through. Well, this mannequin head is not, Betsy's not complying today. Betsy's hair is not complying with me today. So now is where I'm gonna add in my third. I added in my third strand, and now I'm gonna comb through, make sure the braid is moist, and I'm going to do underhand. So I take my right hand and I use all my fingers. Right. Take my right hand and I use all my fingers. Right. I'm holding with my pinky. I'm holding the remaining hair that's in the back here with my pinky. Right. And then I'm going to take my index and thumb and I'm going to grab the hair from the outside. Right. So I have this position now. I'm going to add in my hair from underneath. I use this side with hair, take my pinky and my index and my thumb, and I grab it with the middle section. Then I'm going to take my index finger and go under and grab the outer part. Now, as you can see, your hand has to keep turning like this for the braid to braid properly, right? So I'm just continue adding in my sections, combing through, keeping my braid moist. Okay, so I'm finished adding in all the hair. So as I told you, you want to make sure that all the strands are the same size. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to wait until I feel like one strand is smaller, right? So I felt that this strand is smaller here. I don't know if you can see, let me just make sure you're also seeing right. So this strand here is smaller, so I'm gonna take from the other strand, right, like a little bit, and just add it in with this strand, and I'm continuing braiding, and that is all. Right, just make sure the braid is moist, make sure that you comb through. Now, as I said before, this braid is really smooth, so I don't really have to continue combing through it, but you all should practice combing through, right? Okay, so I'm finished braiding now. So you want to make sure that the braid has body throughout. Even when you come into the thin end, you want to make sure that everything is the same size, right? Even when you go into the end, right? Don't think the ends are actually the most important, and that's what make the braids look perfect and fall perfectly. So I don't know if y'all can see the difference, right? I don't know if y'all can see the difference, like with these, how this is uneven and this one has a little bit more medium. Now let's try medium. The size of my medium knotless, right? My medium knotless braid. So again, we're going to apply product. This beeswax is killing me. Seriously, it's killing me. And you comb the hair in the middle. Now you're going to pass young braid. So medium was like this size, right? Medium, I just go a little bigger. So this is the size for medium. how I'm doing this video based on my knowledge. So I may not be doing everything correctly, or I may not be doing everything just as another hairdresser would. So I hope this video is helpful for at least some of you who are now learning. So I'm just gonna do the other braid, and I'm not going to speed up the video. I'm just gonna show you all the process, but I'm not gonna talk through it, okay? Okay guys, so I'm finished. So y'all can see the difference here now with how bumpy this braid looks compared to the form of this one. You can see the difference, right? So this is what you don't want, and this is what you want. Guys, so the last thing I want to talk to you guys about today and show y'all is the jumbo size braid that I do, and also tucking. So as I mentioned, I'll be using this blue. Now for jumbo braids, I usually take like this size strand. Right, this is the size of the strand that I use. I'm going to apply my product to the section. Mold the hair into the middle, right? You're gonna mold the section of hair into the direction that you wanted, which is in the middle. Then you're gonna part the hair into 3 separate sections. Right. Try to make the sections as equal as possible as well. Now tucking has to deal with not seeing. If you have a total different color from the person's hair, you don't want to see the color of the person's hair, right? You want to see the color of the braid. So you're going to do the same step. You're going to comb out the client's hair to make sure that it's smooth so we can tuck it into the braid. Then you're going to take the braid in here and you're going to wrap that over the client's hair. So when I say wrap it, I mean like all around it. And you're gonna continue braiding. So obviously at the beginning you will see the client's roots. Right? So I'm back on this side. I'm going to comb out the hair. So when I braid, my braid is gonna twist this way. So I don't want that when I braid like this, it twists over. So I'm going to bring the braid in here over my client's hair so that when I twist, the braid in here will be over it. So the first few steps you will see the braid in here because the client's color here because of how it's knotless, right? So if the client's roots are not the same color of the braid, you must see the client's naturally at the beginning. But when you're going down the braid, you don't want to see that. So we're going to continue adding in the hair, and you want to tuck. Make sure that you're tucking the client's hair. So you see like right here where you're seeing the braid, right? To make sure that I'm not seeing the client's hair. The client's hair is in the braid, as you can see. Continue moisturizing and combing out. The precision pad comb is not going to comb straight down the braid because it has small teeth. So that's why I mentioned you will need the big teeth comb, right? And this is what's going to like braid. It's going to comb out the rest of the braid. I forgot to mention that before, but that's why you need the big teeth comb. Coming down to the bottom, you want to make sure the braid, all strands are the same size. So just a little closer. When you're doing tucking with knotless, it's obvious from the top you are going to see the client's natural hair color until you have enough braid to cover that up. So as you can see here, for these two, you're seeing it, but right? So at the bottom as well, you hit the hair underneath. You see it at the beginning, and then this is how you want your tucking to look. And this is also my jumbo size knotless. So as you can see, my roots are tightly tucked, well, as much as I could. And yeah, this is all for today, guys. This is my jumbo. Then in the back we have do's and don'ts. We have it in medium, and I also have it in medium. Okay guys, so this is all for today. I also forgot to mention, I get asked this question a lot, and also if you're a beginner and some clients come to you who don't really know about braids, they will ask you the question, what is the difference between traditional box braids and knotless box braids, right? I forgot to mention that at the beginning, so I'm just going to say it now. Traditional box braid is the one with the knot at the top, right? So you just use one strand of the braiding hair and you use that to braid straight down, right? But as compared to the knotless, as you all can see, there's not the knot at the top, so that's why they call it knotless. Also, it's very tension free compared to the box. The effect that knotless has is that it wants to look as if it's your natural hair that you're braiding down, so that's why we don't have the knot at the top. You continue feeding in strands of the braiding hair into the client's hair. So yeah, that is basically it. Knotless is tension free compared to the box braids. Some box braids will be really tight. However, for how long it lasts, I would say the box braids will last way longer than the knotless braids, just because with the knotless your roots are out. That's all for today. As I showed you all, I did do's and don'ts for my medium, and I also did jumbo, and I showed you all how I do my tucking. So I hope you all enjoyed the video today. You all can leave your reviews in the comments, or you all can message me on Instagram. Let me know how I did. Let me know if you want more videos like this. I think that's all I have for today. If I forgot to mention some stuff and you all still have questions, please don't be afraid to message me, inbox me on WhatsApp. My number is up on my Instagram page, or you all can message me on Instagram, DM me on Instagram. So today is bye from Betsy and bye from me. That's all. See you all in the next one. I hope you all really enjoyed this video, and I really hope that it was helpful to the beginners. I am talking a lot right now, but that's okay. See you all in the next one. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.